All right, so it has officially been a little over a month with what I think we can all agree is a piece of art installed on my Volkswagen Passat. Okay, kidding aside, this is a vinyl wrap. It's an advertisement, obviously, and this is part of an app, a platform called Wrapify. So Wrapify will pay you to wrap your vehicle, either in part or in full, with these advertisements. And in this video, I want to give you my raw, honest 1 month review having this wrap on my vehicle here in Pittsburgh. And we're going to go over, number one, how is this wrap holding up? Number two, the driving experience, any problems, of course. And of course, what you'll want to hear about, the pay. And kind of ultimately, at least after 1 month, is this all worth it? So again, a quick summary of Wrapify. You get this wrap installed on your vehicle for free. Removal is free. And they'll pay you based on the miles driven in a general market zone or a hot zone where you can earn even more money here for a set campaign duration. So this is month 1 of 3 from my campaign. All right, so number one, how is this unique, as you saw, Amazon wrap holding up? So durability wise, I haven't seen any creases, wrinkles, tears, anything like that. Now, just so you know, I parked my vehicle in a garage. Again, here in Pittsburgh, we do get rain and not cold enough for snow yet. But yeah, I mean, when I'm out and about, wind, rain, kind of just normal things that you'd expect, right? But yeah, no real damage, which is good, and no vandalism, which obviously is good as well. I mean, it looks good. These are going to be custom to your vehicle. And as you can see, it truly is. It's custom for my Volkswagen Passat. So nextly, how is the driving experience having this thing on your vehicle that's quite noticeable? And honestly, this is the light wrap, which means it's the least intrusive, and it could actually have been the entire vehicle. So number one, it's still awkward driving with that back windshield wrap. So we've seen it's the 2 side panels, the passenger doors, driver doors, what have you, and the back windshield. Now, again, it's kind of awkward, kind of a problem with visibility when driving. Now, I know your next question here, right? Is that legal? Am I allowed to have this thing on my windshield? Now, I'm not an attorney, I'm not a lawyer here, but let me relay what Wrapify support told me. So in essence, they said, hey, you shouldn't have any problems with this. In, I think they said 10 years of doing this, they had like 5 tickets. All tickets were voided, and if there was any problems, Wrapify would take care of it and immediately schedule an appointment to take it off. So funny enough, just thinking about this, like driving here in Pittsburgh, there's been multiple times where I've had a police cruiser directly behind me, and apart from some nerves, nothing happened. So, hey, I guess, it is awkward. There is still, don't worry, there is still some visibility out the back, but, as you'd anticipate, it's a little cloudy, a little awkward here. Now, let's talk about kind of different reactions from others on the road. Now, I haven't experienced any problems because you might be worried, well, what's the reaction of others or other drivers? Do I have to anticipate being a target? Nothing really like that, honestly. Now, in just my driving, I kind of forget sometimes that it's there. Clearly when I look in the rearview mirror, I can see that back wrap. But for the rest of the times, it's not really that intrusive. I will tell you one funny story though. So you're going to have this on your personal vehicle for some time during the campaign duration, right? In this case, of course, it is 3 months. So anything that you do with your vehicle, you'll have this wrap on it. That means client meetings, any nice restaurants. You might want to forget about valet parking, or in my circumstance, a wonderful date night. So yeah, picking up my date in my balled out Passat with this Amazon Wrapify wrap. I'll tell you, at least it makes a great conversation piece. All right, so nextly, maintenance. Let's talk about, well, I'm a month in. The wrap seems decent, but my biggest question was, how do I wash my vehicle? So again, going to Wrapify support here. So kind of unfortunately, in my opinion, as you might have guessed, hand washing is the only way when you have these vinyl wraps on your vehicle. We can see here automatic car washes could and probably would damage these wraps. Now, the problem with that is, now at the time of filming this, it's October and really any time of year. If you live in a climate that's exceptionally hot or cold, you don't always want to maybe be out there hand washing your vehicle. So something to consider there. Now, of course, let's get into the juicy stuff. Let's go over my pay experience. So using the Wrapify app, you want to open that when you're out driving. That's going to track your miles. And it's basically that. It's basically how many miles are you driving during the campaign period. Now, there's a main zone in your marketplace. Here in Pittsburgh, it takes up basically everywhere in Pittsburgh, basically within, I'd say about 35, 40 minutes outside of the city. So it's a pretty big general marketplace. And then for here in Pittsburgh, City Central, there's a hot zone where I could earn 1.5x earnings. Now, I live really basically there, kind of in City Central, so I'm hitting 1.5 basically all the time. Now, there is a cap. You can see here 10 miles a day at 1.5. Now, I was a little concerned what happens if I'm still driving in a hot zone, but I've already driven my 10 bonus pay miles. So thankfully, miles are still counted and paid out just with the regular rate. So that's good. So I'm getting paid, and I get paid, driving anywhere. It doesn't really matter as long as I'm in my zone here. So let me give you some examples of pay. Here are just some random samples of, daily screenshots just throughout individual days with driving. So first example, this equates to 32 cents paid out per mile. Now, I'll emphasize again, I'm really driving in those 1.5x zones, but hang with me. We're going to go over kind of a summary here at the end. Next example, 33 cents a mile. Next example, 32 cents per mile. Now, our next example here, this is 13 cents per mile. So this gives you a better example of, all right, if I'm not driving in hot zones, what am I paid per mile? So in this circumstance, most likely I was driving home, really east of Pittsburgh, outside of those hot zones. And then one more daily example here, 32 cents per mile. So another example, just this week of driving here, this equates to 27 cents paid out per mile. Now this month here in October of 2021, that equates to 21 cents paid out per mile. And a lifetime since getting this thing installed a month ago, lifetime miles have paid out 21 cents per mile. All right, so driving experience, maintenance, some pay examples. So now what you may be thinking here is, hey, do you think it's worth it? Let me go over some initial pros and cons here. So one pro of Wrapify is it is super easy. It's about as passive as you can get for a side hustle. Again, the installation, it was free. It was really easy. I just set up an appointment. The removal at the end of this campaign, it is free. And I just have to drive. So think about if you're doing a commute, if you're doing a commute to work, home, and you're doing, let's say, side hustle apps as well, or, whatever, if you're just driving a decent amount of miles a day, you can obviously maximize your income. Now, kind of a con here is we saw the payouts here, like 13 cents to maybe 30 some cents per mile with the bonus pay here. Now, I'm typically not driving, like a ton of miles a day, but consider that's not like a ton of pay. In my opinion, Wrapify does work best as, supplemental income. Obviously, this isn't going to pay you a boatload of money. Now, it will pay more if you get a full wrap campaign. So if I'm averaging, I think the light wrap averages maybe $200, maybe $300 a month. And we can see here what the full wrap would average. And then I guess kind of another con here is, again, it's going to stand out. And again, it's going to be on your vehicle for the entire campaign. So yeah, whatever you're doing, if you want to have a show-stopping conversation piece, if you don't care, go for it. I don't really care. Now, I wouldn't really do this. I wouldn't recommend it if I had, let's say, a brand new vehicle or a pretty nice vehicle, or if I'm kind of interfacing with, high-end clients for work, or if I'm, I don't know, whatever it is. If I care about, the first impressions, valet for nice restaurants, etc. And then, the hand washing, I think, is a pain as well. So ultimately, at least after 1 month, would I do this again? I would say on a preliminary basis, after 1 month for supplemental income, because I don't really care about having this wrap on my vehicle, that, I would really do this again. I think it's kind of cool to have the wrap on your vehicle. Again, it's not paying a ton, but ideally, if I'm getting the car wrapped anyway, I would try to get a full wrap campaign and make even more money. So pretty passive, but I'm sure you have some questions. Post that down below in the comments. And after seeing this 1 month review, and hey, subscribe here if you haven't subscribed already to see month 2, and then ultimately month 3, and then removal here. Post those questions down below and I'll keep you in the know if Wrapify is worth it. So if you did get value in this video, definitely drop me a like, and you can also click or tap screen here for my newest video, as well as a video recommended for you, and I'll see you in the next one.